Some lines, once crossed, unleash chaos nobody can predict. Margaret Voss, the HOA president with an iron grip, thought she was invincible. She slammed a hulking cedar fence over 8 feet tall right across my property, choking off the lake path my family had cherished for 5 generations. Smirking with the arrogance of a suburban warlord, she believed her power was absolute. But I was about to unearth a secret that would turn her world upside down. When the county's bulldozer roared in, Margaret's screams pierced the air as her fence splintered, plank by plank. That fence didn't just fall, it exposed her for what she was. If this story hits you, drop "fence" in the comments, because this is HOA karma at its most brutal. I'm Nathan Harper, a 34-year-old history teacher at the local public school, raising my 8-year-old daughter, Emma, on my own. It all started on a Tuesday morning in September, mid-lecture on the Declaration of Independence, when my phone buzzed with Emma's tearful voice. "Daddy, they blocked the lake." My stomach dropped. The path to Clearwater Lake was our family's hard and narrow strip where Emma fed ducks and I found calm after endless grading. I raced home, leaving my students with a substitute, my mind spinning. There it was, a massive fence, expertly built but blatantly illegal, slicing 3 feet into our land, based on the property markers my grandfather drilled into my memory as a kid. It didn't just block the path, it turned our home into a dead end. Then came Margaret Voss, striding out in a designer jogging suit, her auburn hair defying the morning dew. At 52, she wielded the confidence of someone who'd married money and turned petty power into a weapon. "Morning, Nathan," she cooed, her voice laced with venom. "This is HOA property now. We're managing this area better." I pointed to the markers, fighting to keep my cool. "Margaret, this is my land." Her laugh cut like a blade. "Those old stakes. Irrelevant. I've had new surveys done, and as HOA president, I decide what's best." She'd clearly dug into my finances, betting a single dad couldn't fight back. "3 families before you saw reason," she taunted, hinting at forced sales to fuel her husband's real estate schemes. She wanted our century-old farmhouse gone, replaced by another cookie-cutter mansion. Emma slipped her hand into mine, eyes puffy. "Miss Margaret, why didn't you ask Daddy?" Her innocent question hit like a dart. Margaret's mask slipped, but she snapped. "This is community progress, little girl." She gave me 48 hours to reconsider, threatening to make life hell for us. As her heels clicked away, I knew she'd misjudged me. Margaret wasn't playing games. By morning, my mailbox was stuffed with 5 ridiculous HOA violations. My grass was 0.6 inches too long. Our house's earthy blue paint picked in 1987 was disruptive. My beat-up Honda was 14 inches off the parking line. My mailbox showed weatherware, and Emma's chalk drawings were unauthorized art. Fines started at $50, soaring to $500 for repeats. It was bureaucratic terrorism, meticulously cruel. 2 days later, Margaret called an emergency HOA meeting to crucify me. Her backyard became a stage, with chairs in judgmental rows and flyers claiming my crimes tanked property values. But her moment of triumph drowned when her sprinklers exploded, soaking her blazer and turning her notes to mush. Neighbors snickered, phones out, as Margaret's makeup streaked and her authority washed away. In the chaos, I connected with neighbors like Henry Coleman, a 78-year-old retired carpenter who'd seen it all. "She's a curse," he muttered. 3 families good folks sold and fled because of her. Margaret and her developer husband, Paul, had a system: harass until families broke, then snatch their homes cheap. Rummaging through my grandfather's oak desk, I found an envelope labeled "Property Records Critical." Inside, a note: "Trouble with the land? Check the 1987 county survey." Some lines matter more. At the county records office, Mrs. Gloria Sanchez, a seasoned clerk, helped me unearth the 1987 survey. The lake path was a federally protected easement, since 1953 untouchable. Margaret's fence was a federal crime. Her permit? A lie, with a forged map straight up perjury. Emma's school texted. She was distracted, scared of the mean lady who took our lake. Margaret's war was hurting my daughter. Then I spotted a drone buzzing our yard, tracing it to a van 3 blocks away. Margaret was spying, hunting dirt. But her cameras backfired, catching her chasing her poodle in garish pajamas, waving a plunger like a scepter. The footage spread, making her a neighborhood joke. County Inspector Daniel Ortiz, tipped by Mrs. Sanchez, confirmed Margaret's history of shady construction. Her fence also blocked a vital storm drain, a disaster waiting with Tropical Storm Patricia looming, promising 68 inches of rain. I tried reasoning with her, but she scoffed. "You're no engineer, Nathan. My fence is fine." Her disregard for the flood risk 20 homes in peril was chilling. Paul, her husband, showed up at my door, shaking. "She's borrowed $200,000 against our house, drained our kids' college fund. If she loses, we're done." He admitted Margaret shunned charity drives, calling needy neighbors parasites. Margaret's paranoia hit fever pitch with midnight patrols around her fence, only to get lost in her own yard, calling 911 in hysterics. Cops found her clutching a garden statue, muddy and ranting about sabotage. Henry dropped a bombshell. "My grandfather wasn't just a teacher, was the county surveyor from 1975 to 1995. His 1987 map, marking the path as a county right-of-way, made Margaret's fence a theft of public land." Daniel issued an emergency demolition order, citing the storm. At 6 a.m., the bulldozer rolled in. Margaret charged out, shrieking, "I'm the HOA president." "Stop!" Daniel, unfazed, cited county code. As the bulldozer tore through, Margaret collapsed, wailing. "That cost $15,000. A red fox bolted from a den under the fence, pausing demolition. Wildlife officers nailed her with $50,000 in fines and a 5-year building ban for harming a protected species. Then, Margaret fumbled her phone, live-streaming her muddy, sobbing breakdown to thousands. The final shock came when the bulldozer exposed a bronze plaque, "Harper Family Historical Landmark, protected by federal law, 1953. The path was an Underground Railroad site, making Margaret's fence a federal offense. FBI agents descended, charging her with obstructing a historical landmark, $1 million fine, up to 10 years, plus county charges for fraud and endangerment. The HOA board collapsed, Paul filed for divorce, and neighbors spilled stories of her tyranny. The Garcia family, driven out years ago, returned to testify. A $500,000 federal grant turned the path into the Harper Family Underground Railroad Preserve, which I now run. Emma and Paul's daughter, Lily, play by the lake, oblivious to its history. At her sentencing, Margaret pitched a pie recipe as her defense, earning probation, $100,000 in fines, and 500 hours of preservation work. She sold her house and slunk off to Iowa. Our neighborhood transformed, united by history and resilience. My grandfather's legacy showed me that truth and grit can topple tyrants. If you're fighting your own battle, hold fast, justice comes. Drop fence below if this fired you up.